And then my dad was like, the other week, he asked me what happened to that car. I'm like, I think it's just gone. And my dad went, oh, why did I do that?
Welcome back, everybody, to an episode of The Careful Boys. This is mainly a question for people who have siblings, but of course, like, you know, if you're an only child, feel free to fantasize about it. Let's say your parents, all right, when they pass, they have like a multi-million-dollar, or let's make it easy, $1 million inheritance that they pass on to their children.
That'd be sick.
I feel like it's going to be split with you.
Kill them all. No, just kill them all. You kill fucking everybody.
the single. No, you have a brother?
Yeah, that's an easy choice for me.
Can I tell you something?
What?
So I don't got no brothers and sisters.
Really?
But Gio got brothers and sisters. Well, actually, Gio got sisters. And this is when I start to realize if your parents are fucking retarded or not.
Yep.
So she got some fucking Skrilla, Gouda, cheddar,
paper,
assets, some of that stuff. One of the most appreciating things is she has a pad, right? In her brain, she thinks she's just gonna split it equally on the will, and bam, I've done my duties.
Like she actually wrote like this house is now equally split amongst everybody?
And then I'm like, man, are you negative IQ? Because you just created a Game of Thrones situation where depending on where people are in their finances when you pass, there's gonna be infighting like a motherfucker, because the only way to tap into any type of equity in a home, you gotta sell the motherfucker. You know, so now you're forced, what about the person that's living in it though?
Yeah.
And I'm like, man.
Is somebody who's
You with a pistol,
of the
right?
sisters, are the sisters living in the house right now?
No.
What are the real variables?
The real variable is the brother's family lives in that house.
Oh, but the brother's family is not on the will.
Yes, so fucking King's Landing is occupied by fucking the Stark family, but you know what the Lannisters try to do.
What do they try to do?
You know what I'm saying?
I didn't get that far.
After the first episode, when that kid falls
I
out,
heard it was bad.
yeah, he falls out the tower. He was like,
So that's what I'm like, man, some parents, I think they think they're like fair, you know? Because it sounds fair.
Their intentions are good.
Split it equally. But then you're not thinking step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5, what the hell's gonna happen?
What's the way that you think they should have done that?
Well, first, so actually this is gonna be my, like, this year or next year's resolution, is try to hear out what I think the end result of what Gio's mom wants to do, and then I'll help her plan and create something that will get there.
You sound like a Lannister.
But like, no, I'm not taking
put it under all my name.
I'm not fucking taking no percentage.
BAR.
Kwan, yeah, not a spell. But I think
he's all spelling.
I think what she thinks splitting it equally is what is the result, but it's so far away from.
But that's not.
But also,
No.
it's like the lazy way out, because it's like, oh, I did the fair thing, it's equal, and then it's like, yeah, but then you leave a mess because you know that the siblings aren't all buddy.
Sounds like fucking liberal solutions.
Yeah, that's like
Where it's like, this is what I think would be good,
Yeah, it's
and then the
ideal.
aftermath all sucks.
Because I've seen people where I've seen situations where the inheritance was purposely left for the kid who had the least, and when it came down to it, there was still infighting. I think some families are just gonna have infighting no matter what you leave.
Yeah, I think it all depends if the siblings like each other.
Yeah, that's where it
If
matters.
the siblings like each other, they'll be like, chill, let's figure out what's the best for all of us.
Because you could leave nothing at all and they'll just fight over it.
Well, the thing is, even if the siblings like each other, that doesn't mean they still won't like be like, hey, I like you, so I'll talk to you about this, but like I still believe I deserve this for this reason.
There's always
That's true. I mean, they'll do that, but it's exacerbated by not liking each other. I think then you could be vindictive. You could be like, fuck you.
Sometimes you don't even know though. Like sometimes there's not one sign of them not liking each other, and then when this comes into the picture,
It surfaces.
Yeah, it's like the whole dynamic changes sometimes.
My family had a war over my Uncle Bob's like $200,000 comic book collection. Like a war, dude. And it ended with nobody ever sold the comics for a long time. And my Uncle Mark's a retarded person, so he thinks that if you're holding a comic book, even if it's just bent got run over by a tractor, it should be worth whatever it says in the book at mint price because my Uncle Mark is retarded, fucking did too many drugs as a child, right? And so then the family's just stalemated because everyone's like, well, we can't sell the comic book collection because everyone has different valuations on how much it's worth, and we should get way more because we're the Millers and we're retarded. And then my parents are just like, let's sell the damn thing. Right, let's sell the damn thing, give everybody checks, everybody will be happy, like that's a great way to do it. And my Uncle Mark's like, bullshit, you're not ripping me off, and so it just turns into a big joke.
Wow.
But guess what?
And it just sits in the garage.
Didn't get ripped off. It just gets to sit around forever. It's great. My and Nikki's Filipino family, there was a huge war over the house, like grandma's house. Grandma passed away. Everyone's just Mexican standoff, right? Yeah. And it all just ended with my father-in-law basically having to put it all into a trust and liquidate it through a trust. Wow. And there were people who, they had their own little carve-outs and their own little personal deals, like, oh, but I helped grandma with the payments like for 3 months, so I should get a piece of equity higher. It's like all a bunch of bullshit.
Damn.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Filipinos get pretty nasty about that type of stuff.
I heard they're always fighting over land in the Philippines.
Yeah.
I hear that a lot, actually.
Yeah, if the care home nurse didn't sign it over while their freaking mom was Alzheimer's.
That's her Filipino side, and then my white trash side is doing the same exact shit.
Yeah, people just fight about that shit.
Well, no, they did the same thing over my grandma's house.
But if we're doing this on a smaller scale, doesn't it make sense why Kim Jong-il killed his brother, allegedly?
To get him out the way.
Well, I mean, if there's an actual throne to be had, I think that's a little bit different than like, Uncle Mark's comic book.
And but
Uncle Bob's.
Uncle Bob.
If us peasants are gonna fight over things like that, that makes total sense.
Yeah, people fight harder when they have less too.
Or especially when they feel like they're owed, like especially towards the end of life, and it's like, I took care of mom, you didn't take care of, like that type of shit.
That part's
that
dicey.
gets real
Yeah,
messy.
that's really messy.
Because so much emotions are involved.
It's dicey, but like I get that argument.
100%, yeah.
You know.
100%.
Yeah, but then you also don't know the dynamics of like whether or not people pushed you out from being able to take care or contribute, because that happens too.
Yeah.
That's why it's an argument. I get that there's an argument. Is all.
Yeah, it's weird.
It gets every family's gonna have conflict. Like even my own situation, like my parents don't have anything. They have a house, but even then they've had to like refinance it like 9 times to like get out of debt and stuff like that. It's crazy.
So it's just up to the normal value.
So they're still paying. They're still paying a mortgage on it. It's been 34 years since they bought that house.
Oh shit!
And they're still paying the.
Bart's eyes got so big for a second.
Yeah.
He was like,
But my dad, I just learned this like literally like a month ago. One of the times that he cashed out, refied on it, was to take care of $70,000 in credit card debt. And I was like, you had 70,000 in credit
It's
card?
the Blockbuster video got stuck underneath the couch. Just keeps racking up.
Probably. Honestly, probably. You know, and just like, you know, financial literacy at that time.
Dude, send Dave Ramsey this video if you want him to have an instant heart attack and die.
What's the stuff that your dad?
where's your rainy day fund?
Does your dad buy like luxury items at all?
Not at all. I think, well, I mean, we also got into like a lawsuit one time, so there was probably a time where when he had to settle on that lawsuit, like, I'm not saying he used a credit card to pay that lawsuit, but like just probably life in general at that time was impossible to pay for.
Yeah, you probably use cash for the lawsuit and then credit card for life.
Plus, he's probably bet on the Hornets or something like that.
Damn, I would have been a bit of lawyers with that.
Does your dad gamble at all?
It's their
No,
year.
not really. Not, he's not that kind of guy. He doesn't have vices like that.
Wow.
Yeah, he's very.
He burnt someone's laundry and got sued.
But the point is, so all they have in terms of an asset is just this condo.
Yeah.
But the thing is, my sister. So I had learned. This is the funny part to me. I don't even think she knows that I know this. But my sister was helping with the mortgage at one point once she like graduated and got a job and everything like that. And I was like, oh, dude, that's great. Like, mentally, I've always just accepted. Like when my parents passed, it's like you just take the house. Like there's no fight in.
Oh.
It's like I should claim any one asset that my parents have left over for us. It's
You don't want to take the condo and then change the C to a K? It's a Kinja's condo.
Oh shit, dude.
damn it! This is why our business is failing. I've always just accepted it like that. However, I just found out again. My dad was just telling me when we were going on a walk that like, yeah, she did help out. She was helping pay for mortgage stuff, and then when he kind of got out of debt, and then he started working at like Uber and Lyft and stuff like that. He's actually her name's on the title because it switched over to her, but he actually pays the mortgage now. So and he's also paying extra to pay her back for what he paid, she paid in the past. I'm like, oh, so like she's not paying the mortgage. She's like, no, I'm paying for it. It's just in her name now.
Huh?
I don't know.
Adulting is complicated, man.
Yeah.
Because there's
You
context.
were half listening to him. You're probably half listening to him.
No. I was listening because I was like, where do I get my comic
Oh,
books?
yeah.
You know.
Adulting is tough.
What? That sounds funny to me.
But regardless, she's also the one with like 3 kids. So I'm like, to me, I'm like,
Now.
Yeah, wait till you get a baby.
It's true. But I've accepted, and I've told myself mentally, like with whatever happens.
That's just her house.
Yeah.
That's really cool of you.
And she like actually wants that to be her house?
I assume so.
What up, guys? Come join our Patreon because there's hundreds of videos dating all the way back to 2019.
That's right. If you click on the link down below, you can join our Patreon, join us on the Discord, come chat with us directly, have a fun conversation.
And this will help support the channel's growth and new ideas. And also tap into our closer community by joining our Discord and get the opportunity to suggest video ideas like the ones you've seen. Thank you guys. Join our Patreon, help us out. Thanks.
See you guys there. Say hi to me. Like, live in it.
I just assume because like it's a smart thing to have.
One of our assets.
Yeah. She's always been like, financially responsible, smart.
She owns a house right now?
She owns a house, yeah, right now.
Dude, I get Nikki's dad's nutcrackers. He has a huge nutcracker collection.
Yeah, he has that
gonna
one
be
black
mine.
one too.
He has the one black one. That's true. Yeah.
Why is that one
What
notable?
are those worth?
Yeah, why is that notable?
Because it stands out. It's dark.
It stands out, yeah.
It's like Black Santa.
What's the value of that?
The Dutch style.
Oh, it's not worth shit to anybody but the family. Like the family, like it's traditional. He always adds a nutcracker every year. And so I get all his fucking nutcrackers. And every time I see him, I'm like, those nutcrackers looking real good.
You know how my mom be fucking crazy as fuck? Before my dad passed, he kept trying to make me, like, instill in my mom, and he tried to instill in my mom, like, when you pass the house on to Bart. Please. Because my mom's tendencies is to give the whole thing to the temple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he was like, please, tell your fucking stupid ass mom to not... But for me, I'm like, yeah, mom's stupid, but ultimately, that's her right too.
Yeah.
So if she wants to be retarded and just give it all away, that's her choice. It's not up to me. It's not up to you. When I was talking to my dad. So I'm like,
Did she do that?
no, but if she did, I wouldn't be surprised. Because that's her track record.
Yeah.
Oh, like her house right now.
Her
I thought
house.
she sold her
Liquidated
house
to the
to the fortune teller.
Yeah.
Well, but she still has her Monterey Park house.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So time travel lady. Yeah, time.
That's her track record, right?
Yeah.
She sold her other house to the time traveler for like 170 below market value.
Outlaw of the past.
Crazy.
Time bandit.
Time bandit is good.
Time cop.
No, she's a bandit.
That's her fucking.
Time bandit.
That's her fucking
Not a sheriff of the law.
track record.
I like that one, Time Bandit, because she's stealing.
Time. Yeah, she's stealing.
Joe, do you remember
resources.
like with the churches? I don't know if this was like a thing that like a lot of people at church used to do this for Seventh-day Adventists, but if you had an old car, you just gave it to the church. And tons of people.
That sounds familiar.
That's still
Still part of your tidings.
Cars for kids.
It's just like what you do with old cars. I don't know if that's like other churches do that, but I grew up with like any family member or like people, once their car gets mildly old and they don't need it, rather than give it to like someone in your family, they just give it up to the church.
You don't just give it to the person that just got their license, like the new 16-year-old that needs like a $3,000 car.
I mean, my dad did, but like other family and people, members of the church would just like give it to the church. Wow.
Giving shit to your family's dumb too, though, because like I gave my car at a Ford Escort, give it to my little brother, and he blew it up in a year. Damn. He didn't check the oil. So when you give somebody something, they don't always take care of it.
Do they just liquidate it, or do they keep it and use
I think
it?
that, I don't know. Maybe the church just gets money for it somehow. Maybe through like the
Cars for cash, cars like that.
cash for
You
clunkers.
take it easy. I don't like that jingle.
I don't even know which one.
The cars for kids one, dude.
Oh,
I wish like that. I got more cars from family rather
Makes you want to
than
donate
houses.
immediately.
Cars for kids makes me want to drive off a
An
bridge.
asset's an asset. Like it'll be tight. In my own situation with my sister, like obviously if the house goes, I'm like cool. If my parents had a secret $1 million on top or some shit, like I'll be like 50-50.
Why don't you go, you get the condo, I get the million.
How much do you think?
That shit was fun.
I love her kids too much.
How much was the condo worth?
Right now?
Yeah.
Probably like 600 something. They bought it for 120.
But they still owe like 550 on it, right? So then
I think they owed like like 40 or something on it.
Oh, it's almost done.
Almost there.
They've been paying for 34 years.
Home stretch, baby.
Wow.
That's crazy.
So
right?
wild.
But I get it. Like, to me, I'm just like, again, I'm so naive as a kid, you know, thinking like, we only got this like shitty ass condo. All my friends got these big houses and stuff. And it's like the idea, especially now learning more about real estate, like how they had to like refinance so many times in order to just afford to like keep me and my sister like.
Yeah, that's freaking real parenting. Yeah, man.
Crazy, you know.
And without showing the
Yeah.
frustration of it, I think is worth a lot too.
That's a big one.
Yeah.
$1 million to raise a kid now. That's what they say.
Oh my god.
I ain't paying that much.
Joe, you know,
They're gonna live on scraps.
you know how you had that Supra?
Yeah.
My dad had the same car growing up.
You had a Supra?
Yeah, I did.
I always imagined that he would pass it on to me, but he gave it to my older cousin, who then gave it to my like younger cousin by the time I already had like a new car. So they just assumed I didn't want an old Supra.
Oh.
And then my cousin like who lives in Vegas now, he like crashed it or something. And then just junked it. And then my dad was like the other week he was like he asked me what happened to that car. I'm like, I think it's just gone. And my dad went, "Oh, why did I do that?"
I should have just gave it to you. You would have took care of it.
That's what I said, and he said the same thing. But he,
I should have given
He was trying to be nice. He was trying to be a good dude.
Because at
be
the
a good
time,
uncle.
at the time that I should have got it, which is when I got my license, my dad had made a bet with me that I wasn't gonna graduate high school, and if I graduated, he's gonna buy me a brand new car.
Dude, that's the lowest bar I've ever heard about.
Yeah, I know.
Did he get you a brand new car?
Yeah, that's how I got my 2001 Civic. Yeah.
But it's
All you had to do is graduate high school. Your parents were so easy on you.
Yeah, but I was like hanging by a thread.
Oh wow.
And that's the Civic you have until this day.
Dangled failure in order to get a.
Not on purpose. I really was like, oh shit, I'm gonna fail.
I would have rather got a Supra than a
Me too. I really want.
But it was that era where that Supra was kind of like the new one came out.
What year
So it was
Supra
like,
did you? Oh, you have the one.
I had
with
the
boxy
89.
lights.
well, it was like that Supra became like not cool for like 10 years, and then it got
Yeah,
cool again.
yeah.
The circular light ones were fucking popping at that.
Yeah.
Did it have a massive gay spoiler on the back?
Nah,
Okay, because that
flat one.
I just saw one the other day.
The way that my dad reacted is like those people that have Alzheimer's and they realize their wife died 30 years ago.
How could this happen?
Yeah,
He replayed all the wrong decisions.
exactly. Yeah,
can't
because he
believe
sees
it.
now that like people like it again, and he's like,
That's like that picture. You see that picture of the lady who she was separated from her husband during World War II, and then he went like got a new family, had a whole life, and she never remarried. And there's a picture of her seeing him again, and, like hugging him, and he's just kind of like. She's like da 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 like yeah, it's rough.
And he's like this. That's the still that they
Yeah,
put
you seen that one, right? It's rough. He's kind of just like.
Yeah.
that's they got a photo of that reflex.
Yeah.
Damn,
He's
that's
like-
rough.
You guys know Warren Buffett isn't gonna give any inheritance to anyone?
Yeah.
Probably smart.
Bill Gates is doing
Do you
something
think
like that.
when rich people have that publicly out there, that's just what they say for their image?
Maybe they do it in another way. Like,
Yeah,
like there's a
I'm like-
trust or there's something.
Gotta be something. It ain't like Jackie Chan.
Yeah, I think there's levels to it too, though, right? So it's like if you're worth like $1 billion, in your mind, maybe leaving like $2 million in a trust is like absolute penny dog shit.
Oh
An
yeah.
insult to your kids.
Because I think
Yeah.
you can actually ruin your family
Yeah.
if they don't know how to handle it. Yeah, yeah.
Well, you could ruin your business too.
True, they could fuck it up
Or they
Even-
could live it up.
for like a couple years and then you burn out and then you die.
But then what if they
hand.
want to live it up in an evil way because,
Yeah.
they're so tired of all the normal pleasures?
That's true.
Yeah.
That's the only
Do
way
you think
go.
Jackie Chan's really not giving his son anything?
I don't know, but I'll tell you this: like,
I think
it's
PR.
not like he hasn't lived a life that's already above the average.
Yeah.
His entire existence.
Like, he's probably killing
by
it.
association.
But that's what I mean, because then if Jackie goes and he's really like, hey, you're not getting anything, well, then all that stuff that was part of the Jackie experience is gone. You think he's not going to take care of his kid? I don't think so.
I think he's gonna. Again, I think it's all relative. When you're like, when you have a lot. Well, number one, when you're famous like that, it's not even just the value of like money.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the fact that you're a part of that legacy. It's like Shannon Lee being able to run like the Bruce Lee Foundation,
Yeah.
have an entire career.
Charge of the estate?
Yeah, like so you could have zero money.
She can't even do the splits, I bet.
Nah. Couldn't even.
What's your flying high kick? I never see you do a high kick.
Dude, if I ever saw her, I'd be like, break some wood.
Yeah, 2-touch spinning back kick. No,
I never thought of that's a funny ass
terrible.
Can't do the splits.
Throw a pair of nunchucks. All right, go.
Shannon Lee.
What are you gonna
If
do?
he was here, he'd be like, she never had to do the splits, and that's my legacy.
He'd be bummed. He'd be like, oh.
I do the splits.
Yeah, I did that, so she didn't have to, dude.
Do you think Shaq is really not giving his kids any money?
No, I think it's all PR. I think all this shit's PR. Like, it's like Jay Leno, right? Everyone talks about how Jay Leno, he's like, I only do stand-up and I leave all the money that I've had from the show in the bank. Still, dude, you're like 80 years old.
I think it helps the public respect the kids more.
I agree.
Because they'll be like, anything the kids do from now on, the public goes, oh, you did that yourself.
And it keeps their friends from trying to leech on them, which I think is probably a biggest problem.
There you go. That's it, yeah.
But if all of their friends are rich, they might be the poorest one.
Spud Webb's kids from leeching on them.